Hello, I am Certified Moth. Thank you for stopping in on my video, and today I'm going to be doing another sketchbook tour. That's exciting. This is my 23rd sketchbook, kind of a banger. This was a handbook sketchbook. Did I keep the... No, I didn't keep the label that came with it. It was kind of expensive, but I really liked the paper. To me, I found it pretty similar to my favorite sketchbook, which is the Moleskine. I don't even know if that's my favorite anymore, but it's got that same sort of vibe. It's got the ribbon, it's got a little strap to keep it shut. I actually really like this. I really like the material this is made out of. It's kind of see-through. But yeah, I enjoyed the sketchbook quite a bit, even though it was a bit on the expensive side. Whatever. So yeah, I worked on this from February 14th to June 11th of 2025. But as I wrote here, that I only drew in here for about a week in February because I took it on vacation with me, and then I officially started the rest of it on March 19th. So in total, I spent 3-ish months on this, which is fair. It's a fair size sketchbook. So yeah, this was my 23rd sketchbook, as I wrote. This was I like to do self-portraits to start and end my sketchbooks, because I think that's a fun way to sort of document, you know, how do my aesthetic tastes change, my tastes in material, and also how have I changed visibly, like physically. And this was done with Poscas and my Ohuhu alcohol markers. And then on the back of that page I have the bleed through, so I just went in with paint pens, drew a face. This one was, I think I was on an online sketching website where it brings up a bunch of different references and gives you limited time. This isn't my favorite. I was working with kind of limited colors because I didn't have my full set of markers, but whatever, it's cool. And I just cut out some pictures that I got in a assignment handout for my drawing class, and I stuck them in here. I always like to, I don't know, I love printing out other people's art and just having it around. So I thought it'd be fun to print those, or not print those, to put those in here. I drew this in my, what was it? I drew this in my English class. I draw these little cat guys sometimes, and I was like, that would be really funny if I put him in like a full harness set. This is my OC Maoris. I was trying to think of if I wanted to change his hair, and I did sort of. Not until the end, I think. But this is when all of the vacation art starts. I started this one on February 14th in Costa Rica. We had just gotten to the house we were staying in, and I sat at the table and painted the plant in front of me. It's not the greatest. I hadn't worked in watercolors for a long time at this point. But then the next page I did was the backyard in the place we were staying. It had a pool and some little trees and then a fence, and a cat walked along the top of the fence, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to include this in this painting. I really like this. I mean, it's definitely not perfect. There's some areas where it's not saturated enough, or it's kind of muddy, but considering this was my second watercolor painting in quite a long time, it was pretty good. I like the water quite a bit. I sort of started making some OCs on vacation. I was like, because there's a lot of like white people in the place we went, white people who have like a vacation home or moved there, and it's like, what if I had my white girl OCs who moved to Costa Rica? They were very toxic Yuri, I believe. I never drew them again after this though. This is a little self-portrait. I was swimming in the pool and I took a picture with my face half in the water. I love this. This was done with gouache, and I used blue in the background, but otherwise I just used white and green. I love the aesthetic of this. And honestly, like, the rendering is really good, especially for like the water. Banger, banger, banger. I love that. I was really stressed out thinking about what I was gonna make for my painting class that I was taking. So these were a couple of my ideas, neither of which I did because they were both kind of meh. My family played a card game, and the point was to have as few points as you could. And me and my dad both I had 52 points and he had 51, and meanwhile my brother and my mom had -2 and 2, and I was so distraught. I'm used to winning games. Bugs. these things, all of the cutlery at all the restaurants came in these things. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's like to prove that these things are washed well, or maybe the same company does like provides all these for not catering, but like, I don't know. Anyways, I just thought it was cool, so I stuck it in here. I tried to draw a kid at a restaurant, but he looks like an older woman instead of a child, and I was so distraught. And then I drew my foot. I did not sit outside at all on this vacation. It was so hot and so sunny, and I was terrified of getting a sunburn. Oh my goodness, this is my Pookie, one of my magical girl OCs that I started developing in this sketchbook, in like specifically on vacation. I didn't draw her much after this. I love these drawings. They were done with my favorite pens, the Tombow calligraphy pens. Banger. I love her so much. Ah! I need to bring her back. I'm gonna have to censor some of this, but my plane ticket from the flight back. More of that character. I don't like these as much. I drew this and painted this on the flight back with my Tombows and then watercolor. That was fun. Done without a sketch, pretty good for that. And then the last thing I drew on that vacation was, I drew the plane in front of me. Yeah, this was like in the last half hour of the flight home. It's okay. I was just really bored at the end of the flight. I didn't draw as much as I'd planned to on this trip, but honestly, I just chilled out. This was another thing I drew, I think, in class. This was more of my cat guys. One of the ongoing sort of bits I have with them is that they're crypto scammers. So I was looking up like businessy handshakes, so I wrote, I just took out a second mortgage to invest $100,000 in this trustworthy young man's new cryptocurrency. I don't know if that's a reasonable amount. Like, I don't even know what a second mortgage is, so I was like, I don't know. I freehand tried to draw a room. The perspective is very obviously very, very off, but I was just drawing as I went. And I drew this during my painting class. We were having a lecture on whatever chapter of the book we were reading that week. And I just wanted to write the name of the color of the paint marker over and over again, because I think it's really cool. I know a lot of people say the more times you repeat a word, the less it feels like a real word. It's the same for writing it. Like at the end, it just turns into movements and like unreal symbols. And then I sort of did that here, but I didn't commit. I drew this one in art history. It's me when I use a fish as an allegory for a phallus. Not even an allegory, like, I don't know, I love this. It's kind of funny. It looks kind of off, but I didn't have a good reference. I looked, but again, I was in the middle of art history, so looking for a good reference of like nude legs was kind of hard. One of my kitty guys. Some figure studies. I was doing this with just 2 alcohol markers. I very much enjoy doing figure studies like this because it encourages me to think about things in terms of like value and shape instead of line. I had an old piece of sheet music that had the American national anthem on it, which is kind of strange because I'm Canadian and then all the lyrics got messed up on it. It was sort of just a joke thing in band, but then I had all this sheet music, so I put the American flag over it, and then I wanted to draw Trump's mugshot, but it makes it look way too much like this is like a badass supporting him thing. I just really wanted to draw Trump mugshot because I hadn't tried it yet. More figure studies with alcohol markers, and then I used some paint pens to line it. But I didn't keep doing it because I was using quick poses. I hate quick poses. All they have is like conventionally attractive, young, skinny women. And I'm like, and they're all in like, or almost all of them are in very like seductive poses. And I'm like, I'm not looking for that. I want to have like a real variation of bodies and poses. Which is why I much prefer like some of the other apps over quick poses. More sheet music, another printed out piece of artwork. This was when I realized I had some Google Play cards laying around, so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy Robux. And I did that, and now my Roblox character is like a alien cat girl. I was so mad. I bought a Fudanchi shirt, because I was trying to, what I meant to buy was a Hime Joshi, I think that's what it is, shirt for Yuri. But then I saw this and I was like, that's what that is, right? No, this is for a guy who likes yaoi. Tragic. Whatever. More Amar. That's so bad. You can tell that was my first warm-up drawing of the day. Ew. That looks like how I used to draw people in like my second sketchbook where I just made them like sticks. But yeah, it definitely got better over the course of this drawing session, but I was having a hard time drawing Amaris at this time. I went to go see a movie. It was like a documentary of Impressionist art that had only been kept in private collections. It was really cool. There were a lot of things in there that I'd obviously never seen before, so it was neat. Although I almost fell asleep a lot of times. But yeah, while I was waiting, I drew my drink and my Twizzlers. Banger. Actually, the only thing I like in this drawing is the foot. I don't know why it turned out well. This is Teva. Teva, I was trying to redesign him. I didn't like these. This was just me playing around with leftover paint. I was making a painting that was fully grayscale minus the super bright lime green, so I wanted to see how it would layer over top of grays. And it was pretty good, so I ended up using it as a, not a wash. Anyways, I ended up painting it over the black and white painting. I'll put a picture up of that painting, I think. Amos and Teba, they don't look very good in this. More printed out work. I think this was art history, maybe? I think this was class in some way. Oh, cute! This is based off AJR's 2085. Yes, that's what it's called. I was gonna say 2048, but that's the game. That's the merge game. So you can be you and I'll be the rest. And every time I listen to that lyric, I can only imagine like the one character who is like floating in space or whatever, but instead of space, it's the other character, as in I'll be the rest. So I drew that but with cats, and I love it so much. I need to remake it. I need to remake it digitally because I feel like that's what's calling me, is digital art for this. I was just drawing what I was doing this day. I think I was gonna try draw everything I did that day, and then I was like, I don't really want to do that. I gave up. But basically, I bed rotted for a while, I was out of food, and then I had to go weave, and I think I wove all day. And I'm trying to figure out what this was supposed to be. Did I get food? I feel like that must be food. I don't really know. Oh, little kitty sticky notes. I've had this big kitty sticky note for a while because it kind of looks like my cat Patchy Patch, who I will put a picture up of because she's so cute. But then my mom got the little stickies to go with it, so I put them all in here together because they're so cute. Oh. This was a little thing I made just because this was on my mind. It looks bad, but what happens to me is every time that I use Flow to track my periods, and every time I log it, I'm convinced that Flow then sends my data off to a data broker. And the data broker goes, oh, who wants to advertise to someone on their period? And then they advertise back to Flow, because every time I log on it, I get Flow ads, and I'm like, it must just be like an incestuous circle of them selling my data back to themselves. It's like, I don't understand it. The only time I get Flow ads is when I'm on my period. That's me as a naked mole rat. My friend told me to draw that. Mac, if you're watching this, I'm making out with you in my mind. When the period joint pain, lower back, elbows, knees, hips, joint pain, it hurts. Yeah. Actually, I drew this because I think I drew this, and I think my friend Mac brought up naked mole rats based on this expression, so I drew that. I was planning on getting my ear pierced, which I did. My eventual goal is I really want to have 3 lobe piercings on one ear and 2 on the other, but right now I just have 2 on each ear. And I also really want to get my septum pierced, but that sounds scary. I drew this on the train. The trains in my city have 2 seats on each side of the train that face each other. And I was like not even subtle about it. I sat down in front of this girl, I have no idea who she was, and I drew her while she was on her phone, and she ended up awful. And then I drew my face in the reflection in the window, and it looks banging. Like, I'm kind of mogging her in this. I was getting really into clan gen. I love clan gen so much. So I was drawing my clan. I gave up after 3, but I drew Plume Star, Fuchsia Pelt, and Ice Slash. Yes. I misspelled fuchsia in 2 separate ways and it made me mad. This is me at Bass Pro Shop. Oh, I love this so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just really wanted to draw Bass Pro Shop, so I drew that, and then I was like, I should be there. So I cut out this other thing of me. This is all in paper and paint pen. But I really wanted to use a negative space in this, so the green is what I added. I started with black paper. This was just some leftover acrylic paint. I think I was painting my brother a birthday gift or something. You can't really see what it says in here, but it's this is a self-portrait, and then the lyrics are "Sit back and watch your life go by," and that is from That's What I Get by Orange Dog Club. I love that song so much. This is when Deltarune was announced. I was so excited. I loved the new chapters so much. Oh my gosh, they were very good. I can't draw Chris for the life of me. I really want to be able to draw them. My sticky note from my Loom last semester. This was a guy I saw. I was at a cafe trying to write an essay. I got nothing done, but I saw this guy across the street and he was so cool. He had one of those like hyper-realism skeleton middle finger t-shirts, but he also had a prosthetic. And on the prosthetic, he had a bunch of stickers all over it, and one of the stickers, I didn't color it in, but one of the stickers was a lesbian flag coffee cup, and I was like, that's so awesome. Like this old man with a badass skeleton t-shirt and the lesbian sticker on his prosthetic. That's my puppy. You can't really see anything that's happening in this, but I was drawing my parents' legs because we were all sitting watching TV. That's my cat Taffy and my puppy Barley. And I got this parking warning because I parked in a fire lane to pick up my ceramics. I was not carrying those out to my car. I was parking right next to the school. That was my planning piece, or my plan for a piece I did that was based on the Tamagotchi Life trailer. I'll put up the final picture. It was referencing that sort of meme that went around from it. Then there was also the rehydrated Ghast. I don't play Minecraft anymore, but I thought it was so cute. And then ginger ale wrapper, whatever. I really want to make sleep deprived fan art that is the demon core. That's like, I still plan on making that. That's like best idea I've ever had. I might have been rewatching RT Games Minecraft series. I don't know. I love the Minecraft poem at the end, and especially the part where it's like the universe said I love you. That part drives me crazy every time. What is this? Oh, this was the critique for that painting I showed earlier. Literally no one got what I was going for in the painting. So like, this is basically useless to me. Yeah, we were encouraged to try critique something that we thought could be changed, and like, since nobody knew my concept, there was nothing that I could get that was actually helpful. I don't blame anyone. Chris, I love Chris. And then I can see on the next page that I drew Chris and Susie. I actually quite like this drawing. It's not my best work. I made Chris too tall, but it's fun. This was a little thing I found online. It was like a draw your gender or whatever. It was on, what's the website? Is it Itch? That website where you can find like indie small games. I found one that was like draw your gender and had a bunch of prompts. That was fun. I went to go see the Minecraft movie in 3D with my friend right before we moved out. The movie was bad, but I loved it. And I drew this on the train. These were more life drawing, or not life drawings. I was not anywhere that had like these pillars. They were drawings from I don't know, another one of those reference drawing sites, I forget what it's called. This, I was gonna draw something on top of this, but I got this handout in my painting class, which was an extract from the book H. I don't think I could read this book, but there was one, like it's a stream of consciousness book, but I really like this one line. Too bad he made John Adams his marks. Banger! Banger line, so I underlined it. And then I put this Club Penguin Eat the Rich sticker over it. I stole this from Walmart with my friends last summer, and I was too embarrassed to stick it anywhere because, like, I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing. So I was like, I'll just tape it in here, whatever. Then this was the halfway point. This is a self-portrait with my little alien cat persona. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I actually still love this drawing so much. I had such a hard time with this face perspective, but it turned out so good. I love it. The only thing I would change is I wish I had a more lime green for my cat. Whatever. But yeah, this was pencil, crayon, and alcohol markers. Cute. I actually love the way the glasses turned out. I painted over some leftover paint, and then I drew over it with Sharpie. What song is this? It's a Cavetown song. Yeah, it's Guilty by Cavetown. I love that song. So I wrote the lyrics, crossing all my fingers and toes that I won't wake up again in a black hole. And then I drew like a little version of me. And then this like, the Sharpie was originally really rough, but then I went in with a colorless blender and it made a cool texture. It's me. I drew that with it's not a dip pen, it's a fountain pen. Yes. That is me. That's what I feel like I look like out in public all the time. Then I had like a morbid fascination with suspension piercing. Like that freaks me out so much, but it's cool. So I looked at a reference of that and tried drawing it. I was listening to Linger by the Cranberries a lot, so I drew the goofy lollipop emoji with the lyrics and it turned out demented. Oh, I was playing a lot of Miitopia at the time, and these were the characters I was playing with. I was just making them up as I went. I love her so much. Oh, yes. This is another one of those. I was drawing these with Crayola markers. I got some Crayola water-based markers. I always enjoy those a lot. Amawas and Kiba, but they're naked. Cuties. Meow, meow, meow. And that's my alien cat persona, but wearing a propeller hat and holding a giant lollipop. I love this so much. I was having a lot of like animatic ideas at the time. I'm never gonna make any animatics because I don't even think I would like it. I hate drawing the same thing over and over again, which means I can't animate. I took a bunch of references of my mouth and drew those. I was gonna make those into like a painting on a canvas, but then I got bored. Maybe I'll do that anyways. I don't know, I want to try something that's not just a portrait. Like I want to mix up different features or whatever. I don't know what you would call that. Sorry, this is when I got back into Cookie Run Kingdom after like 4 years of not playing it. I got really into it again. I'm still into it. And I drew Latte Cookie because I love her. And then it was also the Canadian election, and I am a very strong NDP supporter, but I voted Liberal just because there's absolutely no chance that NDP could win a riding where I live. But then my dad was making fun of me, so I drew this, how it feels to vote Liberal in Alberta. Literally real. Cookie Run cookies, cookies, meow. For a while I was drawing all of the cookies who I pulled. I already had a lot of these from when I used to play it, or a couple of them I used to have. But I still drew them anyways. A Claire cookie, I got Burning Spice cookie, and I didn't realize how big of a moment that was. Raspberry cookie. I love her so much. I used to feel neutrally about her, but then my one friend really likes her, and anytime my friend likes a character, anytime any of my friends like a character, I immediately like them 10 times more. She's cute. Cocoa cookie, and lilac cookie, and then the mining thing is new. Like, that didn't used to be a thing when I used to play. So I was like shocked that I got to send Onion Cookie to the mines, and she was so distraught. Then I pulled Mercurial Night Cookie. I like him a lot. I did not used to. Like, when I first pulled him, I was like, he's kind of boring. But then I found out that he gives the enemies mercury poisoning, and I think that's the funniest thing in the world. So I end up kind of loving him. Acorn Cookie. How do you say this? Capsation Cookie? I actually don't know how to say that word. I love him too. And then I pulled Mystic Flower Cookie too. Within like a couple of pulls of each other. I didn't know how big of a deal it was to pull the Beast cookies, so I did not get as hyped as I should have been. This is something that I want to make a block print of this, of these prairie crocuses? I forget. But I can't find my carving tool, and I've been waiting for my friend to let me borrow theirs. My evil roommate won't give me theirs! It's awful, I really want to make it. Then I pulled Fire Spirit Cookie, and I didn't like him at first either, until I saw someone say that he's like a 40-year-old balding man, and I was like, that's awesome. I love my balding kings. Then I was... Okay, you can see the immediate cookie run inspiration here, because I started drawing my characters all with big, thick lashes. A cat girl! I love this so much. Like, the looseness of this, and this. Wow, banger. Banger! I love it so much. I was drawing a dragon design for somebody's character design contest on YouTube. I'll put up the final design I came up with because I really quite liked it. It wasn't perfect. I would have liked to incorporate the blues a bit better and the cool tones, but whatever. And then I didn't like the sketches underneath, so I stuck on this tag. I got my mom a wind chime for Mother's Day. This is an idea I have for a painting I want to do. I made the dress for it, but I haven't taken the actual reference or started the painting. Okay, so I was talking in my last video about how I wanted to revive my old characters that I dropped, and the first one I really wanted to bring back was Liesel because I love her so much. Oh my god, she's so cute. Oh, like this. Oh my god. This isn't her accurate body type yet. It's taken me a while to figure out what I want her body type to be, and I still haven't fully figured it out, but I'm working on it. Oh, and then Fern. I might change her name. I don't really like Fern for her, but she's so cute. Look at her. You can tell I was actually into this because I have a really hard time with character art unless I'm extremely passionate about what I'm drawing, and this is a case of me being extremely passionate. And then Nyx. Oh my gosh. She's so cute. I ended up, instead of her dreads, I gave her looser braids. And I love it so much. I love the silhouette it gives her head. Oh. Do I have to censor that? I might. I wanted to draw Nyx and Liesel again because I loved them. They're my cuties. Oh. I really like how I drew Nyx's torso and her face. Liesel didn't turn out as well, but whatever. Then I was drawing with what are they? I have some Tombow alcohol-based markers, which is crazy because they were selling them for $9, or not $9, $5 at the dollar store. Like, are you kidding me? And there was a lot of them. It's only black and white ones, but I like, this isn't even close to how many I have. Like, I don't know what happened and why they sold these expensive ass markers at the dollar store. I'll probably also have to censor this. Little thing that I stuck in to cover up the bleed through. Yeah. Another one of these little, like, I don't know what these are. They're like silhouette people in nature. I think this one turned out better, but this one was boring, so I added the lyrics I Don't Want to Die in June from Doomsday by Lizzie McAlpine. I liked this one until I added the necklace. My horse, hashtag my horse. This was about the time I started working my summer job. Yes, it was. So I drew these at my summer job. Or did I? No, I didn't. I'm lying. But anyways, hashtag my horse, and it's a horse. That's banger. Can you even see this? Yes, you can. It's kind of hard to see in some lightings. and I ran out of room to add the E, so I just didn't. And I think that makes it funnier. I drew this. I had to go on like a 4-hour drive, or I guess it was more like 3.5, with my friend to pick up a painting from a gallery. And then we stopped in the city on our way home and had supper. Yes, we had ramen, and I drew this. This was when I started my summer job. I scoop ice cream at a gift shop part-time. It's fine. I have a lot of time to draw at it because it's not super busy yet. So I drew myself having my first ice cream of the year because I don't really get breaks, but I do get to have ice cream once a day. And then I was doing some note-taking on amnormativity and the ways that I can represent that through my art, because I'm thinking that might be interesting to explore next year. So I was just talking about like making connections between symbols and stuff. Oh, she's so cute. Oh my god, I love her so much. And then I was trying to figure out how to draw a side profile because I haven't done it in a long time. And you can see I tried many times and I finally got it here. And then at work I had just a couple of pencil crayons and I was just drawing these loop ring things because that was part of my my writing on amnormativity, is like rings and circles and how they represent like wedding rings, gender symbols, like a whole cycles. So I was just drawing those and like, what does it do when they're interconnected? And like, what's with these weird twists? And then like, what about interconnected versus separate? And then I drew one with like my reflection distorted in it. I'd like to explore this more. And then this one, I dumped some seeds out onto the paper and traced them and then added the rings. And then depending on if they were in the seed outline, I made it a different color. It doesn't look good. I don't like this one. At this point, I was only drawing at work. I'm just not feeling drawing at home right now. So this was another idea I have for a painting. I thought it'd be cool to have one that was about like being obsessed with the version of yourself that you create in your art, because I think it's impossible to make an objective self-portrait without doing self-modifying in some way. So I was like, what happens when you become self-obsessed with the version you are in your paintings? So I was like, that'd be kind of banger to have like me making out with my painting, because I also love painting self-obsessed. And then like, what if the paint is all over my lips like smudged lipstick? I was sad because I had to shave my legs for work because I wanted to wear shorts. Another thing I drew at work, I stuck in a paper bag. And then I was doing a whole bunch of figure studies at work because it's been forever since I've done figure studies. So I put on a figure study video and just drew a bunch of those. These actually turned out so good. They get worse for a while before they get better. Yep. More of those. I was using a green marker and then an orange pencil crayon. A bit longer poses. Quite a longer pose. And then I was doing some really fast gestures. And I was just doing them over top of one another on the page because I didn't want to waste a bunch of paper for drawings I knew I wouldn't like anyways. And then when I went back to the other ones, they ended up being a lot better. Not these two, but these two I really like. This one is it ended up being more stylized on accident. And then I added in one of my cat guys. I had some Maltesers, because it's been forever since I had them, and then I remembered that I actually don't like them at all, and I was miserable when I ate them. Another one of my cat guys, but I gave him nipple piercings. Banger. A figure study that I hate. It was the only one of the bunch that I did not post because it was embarrassing. And then one, I think this was a 10-minute pose. It's okay. It lost some of the looseness. This was when I started thinking about wanting to redesign my persona. At first I started by just like exaggerating the hair, and then I was like, maybe I should go more in the alien direction like my cat. But then I was like, I need to go in the moth direction because that's literally my channel name. So I made this one where the hair turns into like a moth wing, which is also an eye. I'm still working on it. Lethal! Ah! Sorry. This is when I sort of solidified her body type a bit more. Not in this one. My pen wasn't working in this one, so it turned out badly, but this is how I sort of am imagining her right now. I love her so much. Oh, she's so cute. More of my persona, figuring out the eye thing. I stole from Pure Vanilla Cookie so that every time the wing eye is open, my eye is shut, and every time my eye is open, the wing eye is shut. This is my persona sitting in like is that a martini glass? I don't know alcohol glasses. It's my persona sitting in a glass, confetti, stars, and my little cat guys. One has like a knocked over bottle of alcohol and the other has olives. Banger. Oh my god, sorry. This just enraged me. This happened at my job. This guy and his wife were looking at this hoodie for a really long time. And then he brings it over to me and he's like, hey, this hoodie has a stain on it and it's the tiniest stain in the world. And I'm like, oh, damn, that sucks. So I was like, I don't know what this guy wants. So I just went, oh. Which I then told my friend about this and they were like, that I would have just like walked out of the store in shame if that happened to me. And I'm like, you know what? I wish this guy had. But I was like, oh, because I had no idea what he wanted. And then he was like, can you do anything for me? And I was like, does he want a discount on this? So I told him, I just work here part-time. I can't do anything for you about that. Like, I can't offer discounts to people, obviously. That would have to be up to my boss because she's the one who prices stuff, not me. And he was like, you're sure? And he was starting to get mad that I wouldn't give him a discount. And I just like didn't even say anything. I shrugged at him because it was so awkward. And then he was like, I'll give you $20 for it. And I didn't say anything because I was like, what am I supposed to say to you? And then he walked away and went, your loss. And I was like, what do you mean my loss? I just told you I only work here part-time. I don't care if we sell a stupid hoodie. And then I looked back and the hoodie was $37. I'm sorry, a stain this big for a $17 discount? Dude. It actually like enraged me and I was so confused the entire time, but I feel like these doodles just perfectly encapsulated how confused I was in this situation. And then I was like, I drew an evil, intimidating horse because I imagine that must be what it's like to interact with me at the store. Because I'm just, when I get scared socially, I just freeze and like stare, apparently with like a very resting bitch face look. Lisa! I didn't like any of these, so I just went in with alcohol marker on the next page. I wrote, girl, do I even like character art anymore? And the answer is not really. And that's why I went. That's the entire reason I do fine art instead of design work. So I have this painting that I'm working on right now, or it's already done really, but it's been sitting at my desk for a while, and I was like, I'll just flip it upside down and see how well I can draw the face upside down, because I know that's a good exercise, because it forces you to look at things in a different way, and it sort of tests if you can actually draw things correctly, or if you're relying on like what you already know about it. Obviously you always rely on what you already know, but it's sort of a test on how accurately you can draw something even when it's different. And I was like, this looks pretty good. I did this one first and then I did another one. I was like, this looks pretty good. And then I turned it around and I lost my mind. This is like the funniest thing in the world to me right now. It looks like the stupid shitty analog horror little pictures there are. I'll see if I can find the one that it reminds me of, but I like laughed out loud at like 1 a.m. over that. More work drawings. I had a gummy pizza and then I replaced the gummy pizza with a drawn pizza. That's terrifying. Why was I drawing gums? Okay, this is a plan for my persona. I want to make a little room for it to sit in. I was doing some hand studies I was studying hands from a study of hands. And then I got Candy Apple Cookie. Oh my god, I love her so much. She's one of my absolute favorite Cookie Run characters. So I had to draw her because I was so excited. And she turned out so cute. Oh my gosh. This is literally like one of my favorite drawings from the sketchbook. I love her. Then I drew this. This wasn't meant to be funny or stupid. I was like, I just want to draw a flower that's sitting in a chair but has legs. But I was drawing, is it a bluebell? The flowers that naturally face downwards. but it looks like I was trying to draw a depressed flower sitting in a chair. So then I was like, I can't take this seriously, and I had to add the text that was like, bro. And then the end of the sketchbook? What? That's crazy. More alcohol markers. This is another self-portrait of me dancing in the dress I sewed. I actually really like this. This is another one of my favorites from the sketchbook just because of how loose it is, and I love the colors. And like, it's so messy, but in the way that I love. But yeah, I finished it on June 11th. So I guess we'll see how long it takes me to edit this. And then I stuck this South Park sticker in here because I bought it when I was still into South Park, and then I got embarrassed of being into South Park. But yeah, I don't really know if I improved much in this sketchbook because I wasn't drawing in it that consistently. But I don't know, I feel like my aesthetics and like the way I drew things evolved from the first drawing versus the most recent. I don't know. Anyways, this probably went on for way too long, so I'm very sorry. I just can't help myself. I have to talk about every single little thing I see in here. I can't help it. But if you watched until the end somehow, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like or comment or subscribe, any of those. I appreciate it very much. Bye.